Would Myria going to the price of 50 cents during this bull run surprise me? I don't think so, because I believe that hypothetically, it could very well do that. And even though nothing I say is financial advice nor a guarantee, I do believe that Myria is very special, because we have to take a look at this, right? For instance, Myria is a gaming ecosystem that is powered by Myria's Ethereum Layer 2 scaling solution. Now, let's break this down. I think there's two amazing aspects here. The first is gaming, and the second is Ethereum Layer 2 scaling solution. Now, let's start off with gaming, because oftentimes people think that when it comes to blockchain gaming, it's done. They think it's trash. They think that there's no future. But in my opinion, despite the hype not being the greatest, I think better days are ahead. For instance, right, according to Grandview Research, the blockchain gaming market is predicted to be worth over $300 billion by 2030. So that's a very insane amount right there. If you think about that, when it comes to blockchain gaming, clearly I think the race is far from over. And I think that better days are ahead. And if you think about it, isn't it so genius for Myria to be focused on it right now? Because once the hype kicks back in a massive way, and also on top of that, once there's mass scale attention for blockchain gaming, guess who's going to be there to catch the wave? I think it's going to be something like Myria, because they were there the entire time. They didn't give up. They kept persevering. And I think that it's going to work to their benefit, especially in the long term. Now, not to mention, right, when you take a look at traditional gaming, clearly the trajectory is very amazing. But blockchain gaming, it's still relatively new. Again, it's going to take time for people to really believe in that, but I think that when it does, it could be special. Now, let's take a look at the second aspect when it comes to Myria, and that is Ethereum Layer 2 scaling solution. Why is this so crucial? Because simply put, in my opinion, without Layer 2s, Ethereum would be pretty much caca. If you think about it, Ethereum gas fees, they're a complete nonsense problem, in my opinion. Way too high, complete craziness. However, on the flip side, if you take a look at Ethereum as well, it's arguably not even scalable. So are those good benefits or good traits, I should say, for a layer 1 blockchain? Absolutely not. But of course, there needs to be a way to enjoy Ethereum, because the ecosystem is very amazing. But again, those drawbacks are complete nonsense. So a way to do that is, for instance, through a layer 2 scaling solution. Again, it allows Ethereum to be enjoyed without having to deal with all of those crazy drawbacks. Now, when you take a look at Ethereum, even though I don't like it as a standalone, like layer 1 blockchain, it can't be denied that the Ethereum ETF is amazing, right? Not only for the crypto space in terms of adding positive sentiment, but also for Ethereum layer 2s, much like Myria. Not to mention, you take a look at Ethereum, I think if anything, it's going to continue to grow from here on out. So of course, as it does that, I think it's fair to assume that these layer 2s, they are going to go along with the ride. Now, some people also may argue that, hey man, there's too many layer 2s out there. We don't really need another one. Now, I totally understand how there's a lot, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Myria isn't unique, because many of them out there, they're pretty much trying to do the same thing. They just kind of feel like a carbon copy of one another, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that in a sense, but there needs to be a unique selling point. There needs to be a cool factor, and Myria does have that. Again, it's specialized in a sense for gaming. So when you take a look at it, having this gaming aspect, I think really does set it apart from the rest of the competition, at least in most cases, because Myria is not the only one that's focused on gaming, but still, the way to take a look at it is that it's one of the few that is. For instance, you also take a look at Immutable, that's focused on gaming. Now, people may think that, oh yeah, when it comes to Myria, it's performed so badly. Take a look at how well Immutable is doing. I understand that, but the way I view it is that the lower the price, hypothetically, the more room it has to grow. So even though there is a major pullback, I think if anything, it's a good chance for me to lower down my average cost. But even besides that point, when I take a look at Myria, adoption isn't that bad. Is it the greatest? No, but it's heading up there. For instance, you take a look at, on Myria, there has already been over 2 million player wallets created so far, which is pretty good, if you think about it. Not to mention, it's powering games such as 360 Cricket, Nitro League, Boss Fighters, and even Billiard Clash as well. They're not the most popular games out there, let's face it, right? Are they anything to brag home about? Arguably, I don't think so, but still, it's the thought that counts, and it's the effort that counts too, because they're actually doing something. Many gaming projects out there, they're not doing anything. Really, if you think about it, like, what are they even doing? We don't even know. Sometimes they give updates, we're going to do this, do that. They never do anything. So when it comes to Myria, I don't think it's doing bad at all. Now, some people may think that 50 cents is this crazy pipe dream because they're like, oh yeah, mass scale adoption when it comes to Myria isn't going to happen in the next 6 months to a year. I totally understand that, but sometimes in the world of cryptocurrencies, it doesn't really matter because sometimes, again, like I mentioned previously, there are projects out there that never do anything, pretty much. They say they're going to do something, but they never do. But during a fully fledged bull run, their native token absolutely skyrockets. So when it comes to Myria, I don't think it's a bad thing that it doesn't really have like mass scale adoption as of right now. But again, I think only time will tell because I think the journey is still very far. Bitcoin hasn't reached the price of $100,000 yet, even though all indicators are showcasing that it could very well do that in the very near future. We just don't know. But if you think about it again, I'm very hypothetically positive that it could reach 100K very soon and maybe even well beyond 150K. We'll have to wait and see. But I think if that were to happen, the altcoin season could be amazing. And if you think about it, Myria, we've seen time and time again when it comes to these type of projects, they could very well pump later on in the cycle. So even though as of right now, we see Solana do well, like BNB, like Ethereum, I think eventually it's going to change. It's going to shift its focus and move on to other projects too. Hypothetically, maybe something like Myria. Now, 50 cents may sound crazy. I understand that. But going to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would only be around $13 billion. The reason why I say only is because it's actually not that bad in my opinion. We've seen like Dogecoin reach over 80 billion, like Shiba Inu reach around 40 billion. So it's not that crazy. But yeah, besides that point, this is around a 225x from here. I get it, why that may sound insane to some people, but you got to think about how the market cap of Myria is sitting at around $55 million. That's how low it is. So hypothetically, the room for upside is still there. Now, that's not financial advice, but that's just the way I view it. If I was bullish on Myria like months ago, the way I take a look at it is that I'll even be more bullish as of right now. But again, only time will tell. Now, people also like to say that, oh yeah, when it comes to this bull run, what are the amazing factors? Again, you take a look at the Ethereum ETF, also the Bitcoin ETF, the number of institutional investors. It's just all amazing. Not to mention, if you take a look at, most importantly, in my opinion, right? There's now over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research. I get it. It's not even 10% of the world's population because some people may think it's complete trash. But if you think about it, this is a very impressive number given some context because during the peak of the 2021 bull run, there was roughly only around 300 million crypto owners. Now there's over 600 million. Yet again, right? Like I mentioned before, according to Crypto.com research. So if the 2021 bull run looked that impressive already with, way less crypto owners than right now, imagine this time around. Now, it's going to take some time again, but I think that eventually, once the bull run is in fifth gear, things could look so special. The reason why I believe that we're not even anywhere close to the peak of the bull run yet is because Ethereum hasn't reached the price of $10,000. Also, on top of that, Cardano's native token hasn't broke a new all-time high. Litecoin hasn't had a massive resurgence yet. So I still do believe there's still ways to go. Once even the Kaka nonsense projects start pumping, I think at that point, of course, the bull run is probably in fifth gear. If Luna Classic can pump and have a recovery and find a bottom, if Klima DAO can find a bottom, and also if something like Litecoin can pump in 2021, I don't see why Myria won't at least do pretty good during this bull run. That's just the way I take a look at it. I don't think this bull run is going to be bad. I think Myria is very special. I get it. A lot of the hype is kind of gone as of right now. The community doesn't feel that strong as of right now, but I think better days are ahead. And again, at the price of 50 cents during this bull run, that right there wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think this bull run could be that special. And I think Myria is that amazing. It's just a waiting game. But again, I'm waiting anyway, so I might as well just continue to acquire Myria and just wait because 50 cents wouldn't surprise me whatsoever during this bull run. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's me, the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.